G'day, Neil from VeloExpert here for another episode of Frugal Fridays, and this week I've got a super simple tip for those of you who are packing your bike bags ready to go on holiday for your training camp or your week riding or whatever it is you're doing. Now if, like me, you're really lucky and you've got something integrated and aerodynamic like this, you might be struggling to fit it in your normal bike box like this. So this is a bag that I've rented from the guys at Brink, so thanks for sorting that out guys, super appreciated. But this is designed for a normal bike or a mountain bike. So this is the Evoc XL bag. So, you know, it'll take a big e-bike and all sorts of stuff. And it'll take any normal road bike. But you might be finding that with your particular bike, you're struggling to fit your aero one-piece handlebar and stem into such a bag. So let me show you a really easy way to make sure this packs down nice and small, fits in here nice and safely. So let's get into it. So what's the problem then? Well, if you have a bike like this, where it's got fully internal cable routing and a one-piece bar and stem, you can't just pack a bike away like you used to. So in the past, I would have simply undone the bolts here, rotated the bars, turned it round and hooked it under here. So it would have stayed nice and tightly in the bag, no damage done, easy to sort out and super straightforward. But on one of these, that's just not possible. This is too wide to fit in the bike box. So you can't turn it all the way around, and you also can't spin the bar all the way around because the hoses come in through here and down through here. So you'd think it'd be nice and straightforward just to take the stem off and do that. But sometimes what happens is there isn't enough room to lift this clean off the steerer tube. So because this is all fully internal routed, there's a set amount of distance for the hose to fit in. So it doesn't make it super straightforward. So this is a little hack I'm going to show you to enable you to remove the bar so you can then strap it to the side of the bike and easily fit it in your bike box, therefore meaning you don't have to buy a brand new box. So let's get to it. So as you can see, I've undone the stem top cap and I've undone the bolts, and it will only lift up that far because the hose, as you might be able to see under here, is causing it not to move any further. So that tends to be the front hose because the front hose tends to be shorter. As the rear hose goes through the full frame, there's usually a bit more slack, so that'll let you pull it out. So the tip is to get a bit more slack in that hose to enable you to lift off is to remove the front brake. So it's super simple to do. But it does mean you can lift this clean off and gives you a bit more room. So let me show you how you do that. So once you've taken the caliper off, you can then move the bar up. But one tip for when you're doing this is not only do you pull on the stem like this, also just give a little bit of gentle pressure on the caliper from below. That way you know that there's nothing snagging and you're not pulling against the hose and you're going to do any damage. If you do feel any resistance or if it's super tight, then don't keep pulling because you'll damage it and you'll pull out the hose fitting. But it should just come up nice and easy like that. So give it a little nudge, come through, and you should lift it off like that. And as you see, by undoing the front brake, we've got more slack on this hose here. So we can then remove the bar and attach it, and we'll strap it in the bike box like this. Obviously, we'll make sure that we've got spaces in the brake calipers, so we're not holding the brakes on whilst it's in transit. And we'll make sure the frame's all nicely covered up so we don't do any, so there's no scratches or damage to the bike. But by doing that, we can now fit this Argon 18 into your standard bike bag, therefore saving you a fortune from having to buy or rent a new bike box. So there we are. That simple hack by removing the front brake means you can fit your brand new aero bike into your existing bike bag, therefore saving you a fortune and not having to rent either a specific box or a specific bag or even buy one. So if you want more money saving tips like this, don't forget to check out the rest of the Frugal Friday tips on my channel. And if you really like my stuff, then please like and subscribe. Cheers, guys.